Good morning, my friend. This is Ari again. Today we got another work with particular thing. This time we got one 2014 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 with the engine the 5.3 liter. Okay, this special things the car is the difference for the 2012 is this car coming with the direct injection, o sea que the fuel injection is direct to the monoblock. Okay, I want to show you. This is the pump was located on the monoblock under the manifold intake. Okay, this car got two pumps, one leaf pump on the fuel tank. Okay, look, I want to see, look at that, you see it better. In the fuel tank, they got one leaf pump, they got high pressure pump in the monoblock, and they go to the rails, fuel rails. Okay, and this ones I try to show you exactly how it's working because the camshaft moved the high pressure pump. Okay, I scanned this car because in the freezer day, you remember 3 days, the freezer days in the USA. Okay, the owner go in the morning, crank the car, and the car is cranked, and then go drive it, but they shoot down the motor because when it's scanning, they show water on the fuel. Okay, sometimes the water on the fuel for the condensation is on the car, but this particular thing when it's freezing, the water anyway gonna be ice, no? So this is the thing. This car, the ECM, they turn it off the engine because they say water on the fuel, and when I scan it say water on the fuel and the fuel pressure sensor. But the thing is when the computer or when the fuel sensor was located on the fuel pump, they take the water on the system. Okay, the computer disconnect the car, so they shut down because it's for safety, for protect the engine. This is when a scanner the scanner show no communication between the ECM, say like a lost communication, but exactly it was not lost communication. The computer disconnected the system with the water on the fuel. That's what I find because the scanner is sent me to show the ground wire, give me some specifications to things to do to fix it. And this side, when they say fuel pressure B circle low, the scanner sent me to check the wires and check the ground wire connector, make sure. But I checked everything, it was working fine. The thing was the emergency system disconnected the communication between the ECM for the sensors because it was on emergency mode. So it was in emergency mode because it's protect the motor, it's protect the car. And still the scanner show me, he say continue checking the ground wire, the engine control module, check the harness wire, Was I did everything was fine. Because this is particular thing. The reason this engine was shut down because it's a water on the fuel. So it's not like the fuel pump is some problems. The check engine come out. No, it's that freeze they crank it, turn running 100 yard or 200 yard. The engine shut down. There's no cranking. I'll go the scanner. The scanner show too many things, but when I see water on the fuel, I drain all the water on the fuel tank. I clean it up real good. I check the leaf pump on the tank is working fine. I put it back. I flushing all the fuel lines. And then I will show you more about take the manifold intake too, because the high pressure fuel pump was under the manifold intake. Okay, after drain the water in the fuel tank and clean everything, put back together, flushing, I will remove the manifold intake. It's not too complicated to remove the manifold intake because the injector system is not on the manifold intake. It's just some thing that air go to the engine. Okay, this is the cover. They got one insulation between the engine and the manifold. Okay, they got 5 bolts in each side. Okay, and in the left side, the right side, I got another 5. Okay, they got a couple hoses. The throttle body, they got one sensor on the right side. They got a throttle body plug on the left side. And the gasket for the intake, that's all. It's any injector in this place, okay? So it's easy to remove. You need just a small tool for take the bolts, loose it, and the bolts keep on place, and then you remove the manifold intake. Okay, this is what I do after. Take the fuel tank, remove all the gas, clean it up, put the new gas, flushing the fuel lines, and then the next step we go to the front, we take the manifold intake. I will show you where is located the high pressure fuel pump. Okay, after that we remove it. This is the monoblock. We take off the fuel pump. For this case, we replace, because I don't want to work a lot of work with the same fuel pump. Okay, I'm gonna get a new high pressure fuel pump. Was located in the back side. It's 2 bolts and the plug. I want to show you. Look, the injectors is on the monoblock. They got some reel in the right side and the left side too. Where is the high pressure fuel coming up from the high pressure pump? This is the coils. This is the low fuel, low pressure fuel comes to the under the manifold intake and connect it to the fuel pump. High pressure fuel pump. So it's a little bit complicated. You got two pumps. Low pressure fuel pump, high pressure fuel pump, okay? But anyway, is the thing, okay. For security, I put some rocks on the manifold intake because when you use it, the air pressure for drain, the ash, clean it up, everything, it's better don't go inside the manifold, the intake things, okay. This one particular things is in the back side. This is was located the high pressure fuel pump. Go under the monoblock, move it, the camshaft, move it, the high pressure pump. Okay, and this thing, the high pressure pump, I put it back, new one. Use it, the 2 bolts in each side, and they got in the back side the plug for the turn it on, turn it off, the gas to the injectors. This is the line, the low fuel pressure line goes to the high pressure pump. This is the plug for the switch, off switch. And another side is the high pressure line. So this one is when the gasoline coming up at the injectors for the high pressure. This is all heavy duty real and lines. The lines is not too, is very heavy duty lines for support high pressure. Okay. This is we'll make some tests before put it back and try to check and see the always in the front side the cam sensor. I will check and see if the fuel come out to the high pressure fuel pump. Okay, see if the fuel come out to the fuel high pressure fuel pump. I will put all back together and then I will crank it. Okay, amigos, this is Sari. Share was the replace the high fuel pump for the